So the first thing I'd like to talk to you about is the goal of a press release or a news release. And I want to make sure that you understand that you don't really want to think of your news release as aimed at a general audience, a popular audience, or a mass audience. Oftentimes people, when they write a press release, they think of it as something that's going to go to thousands of people. And it shouldn't do that, and it doesn't do that. You probably in your life have seen very few press releases. Don't really know what they look like. Haven't ever had one mailed to you or anything like that. I hope you have, because if you have, someone before you has misunderstood what they are. What a news release is, how a news release functions, is something that is intended to trigger a very specific response from a very specific individual. A press release, a news release, is intended to be mailed to a person at a media organization who is capable of giving the subject material in the press release coverage. Now, the temptation is to say free coverage, free media coverage, but it's not free media coverage, because the person who writes the press release has to work hard to find out who the person is at the media organization who can give such coverage, and then has to work hard to create a document that makes it clear that the event or thing described there is worth the covering. So it's not free coverage, it's earned. But the goal of the press release is to serve as a stimulus for some specific individual at some specific media outlet. So more often than not, a press release is written specifically for some one individual at one paper. And if you're writing press releases, you'll write them with this one person in mind, then tweak it for another person at another newspaper, then tweak it for another individual at a TV station that you know. You'll know who these people are, you'll know what their interests, likes, and dislikes are, and you'll be very specific in your crafting of the document to appeal to each of them. That's very important in the way you set up your coverage. So don't think of it as free coverage, because it really isn't. You have to work hard for it. And don't think of the press release as a piece of mass communication. It isn't. It's in its own way as a personal letter. If used properly, it can get you kinds of media attention that are much more valuable than any paid advertising you could ever make for yourself. And that's what you're looking for with a press release. They can be the most powerful tool in your arsenal of publicity efforts.